Let's dive into what's new in Laravel 10. Firstly, it's important to note that the minimum PHP version for Laravel 10 is now 8.1. This means that if you're using PHP 8.0 or lower, you'll need to upgrade your PHP version before creating a Laravel 10 app. I'll be using Sail with Docker as my local dev environment throughout this course, so I don't need to upgrade my PHP version. But if you prefer using any other tool like Homestead, Valet, XAMPP, Laragon, or local Apache server, you might need to upgrade first. Let me open the terminal. I have just installed a new Laravel application using Sail. Let me start Sail in the background using the command sail up-d. Alright, Sail is running. Now I'll open the project in the browser. Here it is, a fresh new homepage for Laravel 10. This looks really nice. Alright, let's talk about the changes in the code base. One of the major changes in Laravel 10 is the switch from Webpack to Vite. This change actually happened in the version 9.19 itself. With Vite, you can expect faster builds and better development experience. So you'll no longer see the webpack.mix.js. Instead, in the new version, we have the Vite configuration. If you're migrating from an earlier version of Laravel, you need to upgrade your package.json file to use Vite instead of Webpack. And so now, you don't have to load your CSS and JS files manually. For example, go to resources, views, and welcome.blade.php. Earlier, we had to load our styles and scripts from the assets folder, but now we can instead use the Vite blade directive and load our resources like so. Resources/css/app.css, and then the JS resource right here. This is one of the major changes. Next new feature in Laravel 10 is native type declarations. Let me go to app console kernel.php. You will now notice the specification for the return type for every single function throughout the app. This makes your code more readable and less prone to errors. For example, here's the same kernel class of an older version. Notice that in the older version, the doc block suggested the return type and the type of the parameters. But in the new version, that's not required because the function signature itself suggests the types. This is a big change, but it's backward compatible with existing applications, so you don't have to worry about it. Another useful feature in Laravel 10 is the generator CLI prompts. Let me show you in the terminal. To create a controller, we use the command sail artisan make controller, followed by the name of the controller, for example, user controller, and then if we need a resource controller, we use the -- resource flag. But now, version 10 onwards, you can simply say make controller, and let's see what happens. You will be prompted for input. What should the controller be named? Let's say host controller, and then it asks you which type of controller would you like. Let's say resource, and what model should this resource controller be for? Let's just leave that blank, and now a resource controller is created successfully. Check it out. So you don't have to remember any options for any of the make commands anymore. Amazing, right? And there are a few more advanced features in this version, some of which I will cover later, and some more are out of the scope of this course. That's it. Let's make the best of these new features while we learn about the existing ones in depth.